What's happening, Canopy growth traders and investors? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Monday, April 1st, brand new month. Happy April Fool's Day, and I hope you had a great weekend. In this video, we're going to be discussing Canopy Growth Corporation. Getting a lot of requests about this one to provide an update, so I wanted to come on, bring up the chart, do some technical analysis. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on the price action and what to expect in the days, weeks, months ahead. But we're down almost 30% in just 2 days, and I still see a lot of people that are surprised by this. And when we were over $10, last week I mentioned that we could pull back to somewhere around that $6 to $5 mark on the NASDAQ, so USD. And a lot of people thought I was out to lunch, right? There's no way we're going to pull back 50%. So let that be a lesson. Not that I'm trying to gloat or say that I know everything. And there's lots of times where I'm wrong. But when something pumps almost 300% in a little over a week, you don't need to be surprised by a 20 or 30% pullback. And here we are in 2 days down almost 30%. So this can be a lesson going forward that if something, regardless if it's Canopy or if it's MJ, if something's up 300% in a week or 300% in a month, you need to expect bare minimum, a 20, 30% pullback, right? But as always, this is not financial advice. And you should never ever buy or sell anything based on anything that I say. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I'm not a financial advisor. And full disclosure, I do own Canopy in my MJ portfolio. If you haven't seen my MJ portfolio 2024 update with percentages, I go with my entire holdings and the weighting of each in my portfolio. And before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And as celebration to celebrate 420 and Germany going legal and more than likely going to see Florida on the ballot for 2024, I'd say there's like a 95+% chance that it's going to be on the ballot. And then we only need a 60% vote after that. I'm pretty sure it's an 80+% chance and probability that it's going to be actually enacted into law in 2025, more than likely in the summer. And then Ohio recently coming online, Pennsylvania, Germany, MJ Act up for review here in Canada, talks about switching from a percent excise tax to a percent excise tax instead of a flat rate, which would add tens of millions of dollars to these bottom lines of companies here in Canada. And milligrams going from 10 to 100 milligrams. There's a lot to be excited about here, and more countries following suit, more than likely in states as well. So as a celebration to 420, Germany going legal in Florida, which I think is going to be arguably the biggest market in the U.S., giving away one gold membership to the POW Group private chat community. So this is valued at $150, and the giveaway will take place on Saturday, April 20th, 420. I'll go online and do a live stream, and I'll do a random comment picker. So essentially all you have to do, just go to the YouTube channel, click on community, and then hit read more, and then click on this link here. And it's the interview that I just did with John Keeber, CEO of Nevis Brands. And all you have to do is drop a comment there. There's currently 36 comments, and I'll just do a random comment picker. And I just posted a video as well. Good luck to all, though, but I just posted a video as well on VFF. It was one of the most recent ones to confirm a monthly uptrend in Canada. And Kron did so as well. I posted a video on that. If you haven't seen it, you can check it out. But we're starting to see the trend is now that Canadian names are starting to confirm one by one, slowly but surely, monthly uptrends across the space. And we had the names in the U.S., so, the U.S. MSOs and the operators in the U.S. confirmed monthly uptrends first. And MSOS ETF first in history that we had on that chart, first monthly uptrend ever. And now we're starting to see the Canadian operators do so as well. I think the next ones to do so are more than likely going to be High Tide. And after that, SNDL. It's a toss-up between those two, which one does first. Then I think we're going to see, Tilray, and then more than likely OGI, and then more than likely CGC after that, because there's still a lot of work to do here on the monthly time frame. A lot of names are bouncing on the monthly time frame above their EMA 26 on the monthly, and Canopy has been dropping to monthly lower lows over the last couple of months, right? So most names in the MJ space are bouncing to higher lows and higher highs, kind of the opposite, right? Where we're seeing this, whereas on Canopy we're seeing this. So it's basically going the other way. It's going against the trend that we're seeing. But like I said, that's just going to be a matter of time before we see. I think CGC will confirm a monthly uptrend. But on the hourly time frame, I wanted to bring up the the hourly bear flag here. Getting all confused with these time frames. But obviously CGC Medical going to be a huge beneficiary of the German market as well. And with all the positive reform coming in the U.S., potential for Canopy USA and they could acquire acreage. We know they have, I think, 17% in TerraSend as well. So there's a lot to like here. And this is one of those names. It's not a huge weighting in my portfolio, less than 10%, but it's definitely worth the risk in my opinion. But we do have an hourly bear flag. Spoiler alert, we could see some more downside. Probably not what everybody wants to hear, down over 30%, or sorry, almost 30% in 2 days. If you go from the high of Thursday to the low of the day today, you can see here down over 28%. So we're closing in on that 30% down mark. We knew that, like I said, we were getting extended. We were heavily overbought here on the daily RSI, and we had no support from this move from 276 all the way to the high at 799. We had a small daily higher low there, but even then we pulled back about 28% again. So 28%, 28%, and now we have a daily higher low there at 570. So that's key daily support in the short term. And then we also have EMA 12 there at 634 as well. So that's why I anticipated more than likely a pullback to around $5, because that's where support was, right? It's all about support and resistance. And then we hit 1013, which is very, very strong resistance, right? $10 psychological. And we had that bearish candle there on Thursday as well. And then a lot of names started daily consolidation in this space. Even VFF was a bit of a clue. It started daily consolidation on Thursday, but now showing relative strength today, whereas most of the names are just starting to daily consolidation today. So that's why we want to look at other names in the space as well, not just hone in and fixate on, if we're only looking at CGC, we only get half the picture. We don't even get, a quarter of the picture, because you need to see what the rest of the names are doing, because you can fish for clues, right? High tide daily consolidation, big bearish reversal candle on Thursday, right? Same thing with Tilray holding up a little bit better than most. But this is a common trend. SNDL daily consolidation as well. So if most names are losing the low of Thursday, starting daily consolidation, dropping to a lower low, then obviously that's going to increase the odds that it happens for a name like CGC. But close the day down 12.75%. And like I said, we have key support there on the price action at, let me just bring that up again here. Where's the low there? 570. And then EMA 12 at 634. So those are the levels to be watching for. And if we did pull back to that level, like we're still in a daily uptrend, right? We have our low, high, higher low, and higher high. From the high there to the low, we could have pulled back 43% and still be in a daily uptrend. So that's why you need to get, technical analysis on your side, because you would think, not looking at a chart or knowing any technical analysis, if you didn't know that and you said, oh, CGC pulls back 43% in a couple of days, like that'll never happen, or the stock would be doomed again. We'd be throwing around the B word of it. They're not going to be solvent. But again, if you just realize that, oh, we're up almost 300% in a little over a week, and if we pull back 43%, we're still in a daily uptrend, right? So the most likely scenario was a 20-30% pullback, and here we are right in the smack dab in the middle. And like I said, that hourly bear flag is saying that we could see another leg down here, and we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross on our way to hourly oversold. I told people that a good area to target, I see a lot of people say that they were like, when's a good entry on CGC? Well, it's been a good entry for the last 3 years, right? When we're down 99% from all-time high. But whenever something runs almost 300%, people are like, okay, now I want to buy it, right? So they're like, oh, when's a good entry? And I said, well, watch for hourly and daily oversold territory. And we haven't yet hit hourly oversold since that monster move. So that could be a nice swing trade here. If you're not familiar with playing oversold bounces, I'd be very cautious. But, we could end up hourly oversold here the next, day or two, as we look to hit that hourly bear flag target of 697, and we're still quite a ways away before hourly oversold. So I'd say, somewhere around that 670, 650 area would probably put us into hourly oversold, and we may even get pretty extended in the RSI range there in the oversold territory. So wouldn't be surprised even if we saw $6. But we'll see if we can get this Florida news out to spark. I think it's pretty much priced in. And yes, it's not going to help CGC. It's going to help the operators like TrueLeaf and AOR and Cureleaf and Cresco, all these ones that have, I shouldn't have started naming names because there's a lot to mention, but a lot of competition in Florida. But obviously it's not going to benefit CGC directly here in the shorter and near term. Maybe in the long term you get enough reform, but the headlines will help, because that's only going to bring more investors into the space. And they're, most people are on Robinhood or whatever, and they can only trade U.S. major exchange names, right? They can't buy in the Canadian exchanges. They can't buy in the OTC because their brokers won't allow them, and can't do foreign investments. So, you're stuck with the CGCs, the Tilrays, the SNDLs, the high tides of the world, right? So we'll see what tomorrow brings, but it's looking like we could see a little bit more downside, and the S&P 500 as well. not set up well if the S&P 500 were to see a healthy correction of around 5-10%, which we likely know is due very soon. Weekly bull flag on SPY was met at 521. We're actually exceeded that. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting day and rest of the week. But you can see here the MACD and the stochastic are going parabolic, and we're well above the 10-week moving average. It's looking really good there in terms of the weekly time frame. And then in terms of the weekly moving averages, we're also above the 50 weekly, which hasn't happened since the highs of February 2021, and when we were basically coming off all-time highs. And a lot of our names are starting to trend back to their 200 weekly moving average. Look at Green Thumb, came within $2. If that happened to CGC, we'd be up at $102. But probably not going to happen anytime soon. But we'll target the 100 there. The 100 weekly, we're around $18 a couple of weeks ago, whenever we were trading around $3, people would have thought I was crazy to say we'd be up at the $17, $18 area over the next few months. And actually, it wasn't even a few weeks, and here we are, over $10 within $8 striking distance of that 100 weekly moving average. So it goes to show you how things can change in a hurry. And also down over, almost 30% here in 2 days goes to show you how quickly it can change to the downside as well, right? So this is looking pretty good here. We got actually 2 candle closes on the weekly time frame over that weekly moving average, the 50 weekly. And if we just zoom out to 5 years here, like I said, this hasn't happened. We haven't closed over that 50 weekly since we were back up here, pre-split, well, factoring in post-split, $590. So this is looking really, really good here. And then also on the daily time frame, something that is gearing up is a golden cross with the 50-day below the 200-day moving average. So 50 at 429 and the 200 at 548. It's getting very, very close. And again, if we just zoom out to the 5-year time frame, this hasn't happened since November of 2020. This is almost 4 years where we haven't seen a golden cross. So like I said, over the next few months, it's looking like we're going to go to absolute... it looks like we're going to Valhalla. Like we're going to the moon, quote unquote, going to the moon, as most people would say. So I'm excited. Smash the like if you're excited. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section below. Do you think we're going to be bottoming out around $6, $5? Adding, subtracting? Always love hearing from you going into there, though. It's Rob with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you again in the next video.